Hello and welcome to another episode of Kalam Podcast live from Ramallah on the occupied West Bank in Palestine. We're in Sirdab Studio and I'm honored to be sitting with Reem Talhami, a singer and an actress from Palestine. Reem, welcome to Kalam Podcast and thank you for coming.
Thank you, and you are welcome too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Reem, is it possible to speak about Palestinian music? And if so, what is it?
What is Palestinian music? Well, it's part of all nations. You know, you have your own culture. You have the smells and the tastes and the colors of all culture aspects, and music is one of them for sure. And it's been traveling with us all our lives. It's part of nations. Every nation has its own music, the folklore, the traditional music, and also Palestine. And this is part of what distinguish Palestinians from other nations, because it's a very old culture. It's the sham, the Ard al-Sham music, and it's like it's part of everyday life. Music is part of our being, farmers, being the owners of the land, work the land. And then songs accompany you during your, harvesting your olives. It's like each action of your daily life is accompanied by songs and music and dabke, or the farah, the happiness of life, enjoying life. And this is what music in Palestine, I think. Of course, we can add to this all the music that you can hear now in Palestine, the differences, the way it grow all the time, and the influence of other world music, and how it affects also the Palestinians, people who try to explore music in different ways, maybe more modern music. And you can find in Palestine so many kinds of music and songs, because people are trying to they have their own experience with the music that they would like to hear or to explore.
Yeah. And what music is it that you have dedicated your sort of career and your life to expressing?
Well, it was easy to decide, because I got to study in Jerusalem at the beginning of the First Intifada in 1987, and it was it shaped my the whole political situation, and being the first time in the big city as a student and as an activist. It's like it was like I gave myself to be shaped by the political environment of the Jerusalem at that year,
during the Intifada,
of course, and alongside with the West Bank, with Ramallah, with Beit Lahem, with Gaza even. It was all the time opened. You can just go have your breakfast and come back, or you have your friends coming to Jerusalem. Nobody's asking for IDs, no checkpoints. Strange, huh? It seems like ages ago. It is. But anyway, it's like I gave myself to be opened by all the political environment of that time, and the national aspects of being a Palestinian from 48. That was really very important to me, to be there and to act there and to sing there, to work, and that's how my music became dedicated to the people of to the people of Palestine, to me, and the things I wanted to say, and the hopes that Palestinians as a nation would have, or things they would have to say, or dreams or, the occupation, to be free, to be. So I thought at that age that, speaking about these details of daily life of Palestinians would really make awareness of the whole Palestinian situation through the songs as part of our struggle inside this land. So my whole music since '87, since my first original song, was dedicated to the Palestinian cause.
Yeah. At the time, during the First Intifada, was there kind of a renaissance of folklore and folk music, and like the music of farmers, or music of sort of the traditional music, not like maybe the kind of music that was popularized in like the 50s and 60s, but a kind of looking back?
Actually, that era at '87 and a little bit more, that was the time of original songs.
Okay.
That was the time of writing your original songs, of exploring even through folklore or traditional, by composing these songs, but sometimes going far away from folklore. And it was the more national songs that would, like Sabrine Troupe, like Isa Boulos, like Ramallah group. It was all these experiences of so many bands that were exploring new aspects of the music. Actually, this era was the time for making your own music.
The shift was original lyrics.
There. Now it's more going back to the folklore, but the folklore and the traditional songs, this is accompanying us all the time. You could like analyze so many songs and find the lines of traditional songs sometimes. Like in my concerts, live concerts, I always make sure that 3 or 4 traditional songs are being presented in live performance.
So these traditional songs, when are they? Can you like date them to a certain time? How old do you think some of these folk music songs are?
I don't know. I think it's very old.
Yeah.
It's like it's been there all the time. It's not the beginning of the century. It's even older. It's like in Ard al-Sham, it's been always. Even with the movements of occupations, with the French or the English occupations, it was and themes of trying to figure out how to resist this regime by singing like songs that would be twisted and somehow to be not understood by a non-Arabic speaker, or and these also part of the traditional. Now we were working on, before the war started, before the 7th of October, we were working about on a musical. It's like talking about before 48, about the movements of women accompanying men in their revolution actions in Palestine during the 30s of the 20th century, and the role of women, and you could find so many details of daily life that they would sing about, and it's theirs. It's been there for ages. I can't say exactly when. I'm not familiar with I'm not an expert of when exactly.
Yeah. Do you think you can give us an example of maybe something a traditional? Yeah.
Yeah, I love this one. Miriam. It's called Miriam. مدي دايتك يا مريم، مدي دايتك يا هي، نادي خياتك يا مريم، نادي خياتك يا هي، كومي تنحطب يا مريم، كومي تنحطب يا هي، حناك مرطب يا مريم حناك مرطب يا هي من بنات سدود يا مريم من بنات سدود يا هي مقلد بالبارود عريسك مقلد بالبارود يا هي من بنات غزة يا مريم من بنات غزة يا هي من أحلى بدلة جابوا لك من أحلى بدلة يا هي مريم.
Wow, thank you for that.
This is Miriam.
Wow. Can you tell us something about what you just sang for the non-Arabic speakers and people maybe not familiar
They should
with this?
feel the music. They don't need translation.
That's very true.
It's part of the wedding, I think, and it's I'm singing to Miriam. In when you are a farmer, like in villages around Palestine. So I sang in this accent of villagers, of the peasants of Palestine. In more than, each village has its own dialect.
Yeah.
And but this is common in so many places. Speaking the kaf in cha.
Yeah.
So you know that, and it's Miriam. Bring your hands, Miriam. We want to put henna on your hands, okay? And the henna is still wet. So you just keep it like this, until it's dry.
Yeah.
Call your sisters, Miriam. Call your sisters. And please work the land afterwards when your hands are dry. It's like something to prepare for the wedding.
Yeah.
And in 2 verses, I spoke about Sdud and Gaza, which are, Gaza is before Gaza you find Sdud, and Sdud. So many of the Sdud residents, Palestinians, were kicked out of their place into Gaza.
Yeah.
So, like more than I think 86% of Gazans are actually refugees from other places outside of Gaza.
Surrounding villages around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even from Jaffa.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, speaking of Gaza, of course, we should talk about that. There's a genocide taking place. There's a horrific war.
Yes.
How is this affecting you personally, and how does it affect your art?
Well, I don't care if it affects my art. I mean, negatively, because we don't do anything. We don't sing even. But something more important is happening there every day since the 7th of October, and it's a shame for humanity. Actually, I'm so ashamed, and it's affecting my voice. It's affecting my soul. It's affecting my speech. It's affecting my daily life. It's affecting my stomach. It's affecting my head.
Yeah.
It's there everywhere around my body. I think I feel older. I feel I don't believe anymore of the values that I was trying to present through my music, through my songs, It's like the searching for these ideal headlines of freedom, of unity, of peace, of
maybe the kind of ideals that you experienced in the beginning of your career during the First Intifada.
Exactly. That even thinking about the hope, we are a very hopeful nation, people. We hope a lot for the better. I hear they have started renovating a Shifa hospital now. In 2012, I was in Gaza for 1 week, and it was a war a week before, and I was walking the streets. People were building their houses from day one, when the soldiers retreat. Anyway, we are hopeful people all the time, looking forward. But something is it's like, we are good people. Why this is happening?
Yeah.
Why this is happening to us? It's like they're chasing refugees all over, right? And it seems like the right of return is being wiped.
Yeah.
It's like they don't want people to go back to their villages.
Yeah, they don't.
So they attack, and it's shameful to me, to everybody in Palestine, I think.
Yeah. Even here in the West Bank, and other parts of Palestine and historic Palestine, you were just telling me now you had trouble getting here.
Yeah, I live in the West Bank. I live in Kufur Naimi. A village is like 15 minutes away in driving, or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, the soldiers were visiting us tonight. They've been there for like 5 hours in the morning while people were sleeping. And they come every second day. Just 10 days ago, they killed 4 people, 4 young men. And they can come and go whenever. So it's occupied. It's still occupied. It's not a free land.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of tragedy and a lot of hopelessness, despite there is hope in this country, but a lot of death
Yes.
that one is surrounded by.
Yes.
And I was going to ask you if you wanted to share with us a song that you prepared of your own composition that touches upon this.
I was thinking about 2 lines. Maybe I should say them, but it's very short. But I wanted to say it. ما بدي ودع حدا، ولا بدي غير بيوت، ما بدي ايد الردى تسكر علي التابوت، ما بدي ودع حدا، ولا بدي غير بيوت، ما بدي ايد الردى تسكر علي التابوت. It's part of a longer song.
Yeah. What does it mean?
What does it mean? I don't want to say goodbye to anyone. I don't want any other houses. I just my own only. I don't want the hands of death to cover my coffin upon me. Yeah.
It's it's very poetic, obviously.
It was written by Adnan Al-Audi, a Syrian.
I was going to ask you, yeah.
A Syrian poet, and was composed by Munam Adwan, a Palestinian composer from Rafah.
I see. What does the tradition of Arabic poetry mean to you?
Richness. It's the language. The language is always a magic. Arabic is magical. Very hard, you know
Sure,
that.
I know that, yeah.
It's very complicated.
Yeah.
Very ancient, but very beautiful.
Yeah, it certainly is rich.
Yeah.
Do you sing mostly songs that you've written yourself, or how many are existing poems that you put to music?
I can't write. I write, but speaking about songs, it's like so hard to me to write a song. I maybe grab 2 lines and then I'm off.
Yeah.
So other people, I take other people lyrics, or people, especially writes upon my request. If I want them to, I could ask a friend of mine, maybe if you can write something, and then go to another friend who composes, and then you make a song, right? That's how it happens, because I can't write a
Okay.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. You're also an actress and involved in the theater.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that there's a difference when you sing, just sort of for the sake of singing, but when you sing and on a stage in a theatrical context, something else happens, and you have the license, and you should act out kind of what you're singing at the same time.
A big thing happened the moment I started to work in theater productions and work characters. It's immediately something changed in my voice. Yeah. Working with the voice of the character, also the way the character speaks, and then if I need to sing a line, I suddenly discovered another voice. You know, I was graduated from the music academy in West Jerusalem, and I was singing operas. I was singing in German, in Deutsch, and in Italian, and in French. And the technique of the sound of your voice is completely different. The way you produce your voice is completely from another place, and it's all there in the head, and it's up all the time.
You mean Western classical
music? The Western classical music, of course, the opera singing, the classical, not only classical, of course. But then in theater, because I haven't been trained as an Arabic traditional singer, right? Yeah. And so everything I know about the Arabic traditional singing is by hearing or by practicing, practicing the songs and searching for how do I want to produce this line, okay? And so it's a different technique. It comes from different part of my body. It's more down to the chest or the throat itself. So in theater, I started to find other unique places that I could go to, and it helped me with the character. And it's bigger. The theater is bigger.
Yeah,
you need another voice. The characters needs to be heard. You have to produce the voice and to be heard. There's no mics on the stage when you are in theater. In real theater, no microphones, and you have to produce your voice and to support it, and then suddenly I was singing in this big song, in this big voice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes it's good, sometimes no. You need the smaller voice.
Sure. And theater in the Palestinian context has played quite a big role, as I've understood, as well as you were saying, how sort of traditional songs play a role in
in the resistance
and resilience, and passing on certain traditions to other generations.
Exactly.
Theater has done the same, hasn't it? Telling stories.
I had also to make part also. The part of the theater has to be, the topics that will go aside with these line of resilience, as you said, right? So also in theater, so the production I had the being lucky to be in, like the mural of the Jidariya of Mahmoud Darwish. We've been in Sweden, in touring in Sweden and in Denmark, yes, in most of Europe. So it was, for me, it was a challenge. It's Mahmoud Darwish and his
of course,
his words and his philosophy, and also the theater is a great tool for resilience, and this is a stage, a live stage to bring the topics and to bring and it goes aside, not aside, it goes along with other ways, like the music, like cinema, like the arts of drawing, like the poetry. It goes in the same way, for the big cause of but sometimes arts also need the freedom to explore other aspects of the way of producing arts. And sometimes even Palestine seems small
Yeah.
to be exploring. Then you need to like open up more,
Yeah.
and then to go and grab the universe, you know, the other details, right? And then you connect a little bit. And sometimes when you compose a song and it's not a traditional song, you don't find a Palestinian audience to hear you.
Sure.
And sometimes it's like and then you stop, and then you say, oh, nobody knows me, nobody knows my songs, they don't know anything of my songs. I was singing in the middle of Ramallah in the Women's Day. It was like a big demonstration, and I was standing on the stage, wood stage, like in the middle of the Duwar al-Sa'a, and I was singing from my new album, 10 songs dedicated to Gaza in 2013.
Yeah.
Right? Written in Gaza, composed by Said Murad, written by Khalid Juma. And I was standing there, so happy of my new production,
Yeah.
giving the audience 3 songs of this album, right?
Yeah.
And then I hear the women who were just in the demonstration standing there, and Reem, please sing Palestinian songs. And then it hits me, you know, it's like, what? And this is songs written by a Palestinian, composed by a Palestinian, produced in Palestine,
Yeah.
and launched in Gaza. The album was launched in Gaza, and here this woman, 2 women, screaming, asking me to sing Palestinian.
Because they want to hear classics more.
No, because it's not the songs they want to hear.
Yeah.
It's not the original songs they want to hear.
Yeah.
And we made sure to speak about Gaza without any drop of blood, without any mention of a rocket, without any mention of a war, right? And it seems like we were far away from the ambitions of the people, because we try to make our own music.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't. Maybe I should have said something. I should have sang some of the folklore songs. Maybe people will accompany me, and then they will feel more Palestinian than hearing another Palestinian genre.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, it reminds me of you said that you had listened to my podcast episode with Saad Al-Amiri, and that's something that she says as well, that she feels, I mean, she lives in occupied Palestine, but she feels occupied by Palestine as a topic, as a subject. She feels sort of trapped as well a bit.
Yes, but what I hear, what I understood from Saad, that the whole idea, the whole idea of Palestine, yes, we are occupied by Palestine because we are, how do you say, sorry, I need to find it in English. Obsessed. We are obsessed by Palestine, right? Wherever we go, because this is the cause we hold on our backs, on our shoulder, as artists, as culture, you know, part of the culture. Like Saad is not only a writer, she has established Ruwaq, and this is a great cultural symbol. So every time we go outside, we are more Palestinians even, right? You notice that, of course. We are more Palestinians because this is a responsibility, and this is the war of existence, right? And
because that's the thing, you know, there's a huge difference between expressions of folk music and folklore in countries that are not occupied, that are not under military occupation. In Sweden, we have folklore, we have folk music, of course.
Yes.
But it's a very different thing than the expression here, because like you said, it's a sort of it's a mission of survival.
Yes, like if you take the traditional songs, the folklore is full of meanings, right? And when you come and choose the songs that you want to choose as part of your resilience, then you have to go to these kind of like when you say طلت البارود والسبع ما طال. This is part of the songs of the traditional songs that would really fit inside your fight, right? If you take other songs, it would be for the wedding. It's happiness and dancing songs. You know, you can sing in the streets and everybody will be happy dancing, and you know, the dabki would be flourishing and everyone is fine,
Yeah.
right? But so you decide what kind of folklore you want to go and grab, right?
Yeah.
Some of the folklore are you know, provocative. Some of it is
Sure.
pornography.
Yeah.
Not pornography, but very
Erotic.
erotic.
Yeah.
Some of the traditional songs are very erotic, right? And some are you find curses inside, right? So
Sure.
it depends what you want to say, what you want to grab from this genre, and
Yeah.
what you want to sing for the purpose of what you want to present.
Yeah. Reem Talhami, I've kept you far too long, and I'm so happy that you came.
Thank you.
I just have a last question, because what you just said strikes me as interesting, because I think in the West and among the not just Palestinian but Arab diaspora, they maybe have an idea, a romantic idea of Palestine and what it is, and would maybe feel uncomfortable at the idea that there would be erotic elements and kind of sort of under the table topics in traditional music. Could you say just a few words about that?
Actually, I think all all folklore of all nations have also this erotic part of the traditional songs. Yes, I think all nations have it
It's normal.
inside. Yeah, it's no problem. It doesn't take the romance of out of Palestine when we know that, because if you dig inside these songs, you will find them. Okay, but this is not the issue here. For me, Palestine is still very romantic, a very romantic topic,
Yeah.
a very romantic country, a very beautiful country, very beautiful land,
Indeed.
and a very beautiful people, actually.
Yeah.
And I feel my heart like every time I see the guys in the village. I see when we are growing, or when I'm buying some instrument for the land. I'm with
Yeah.
my jeans and all dirty jeans, and everybody's we talk, we laugh, we have light conversations about the future, about what are we going to do now, what kind of things we should plant now.
Yeah.
So it's a very but
So it is romantic.
to be kept alone, that would be very nice, to be left alone,
Yeah.
just to live our lives. Enough with the blood, with the occupation, we need to be free people, right?
Yes.
Because we could give the world a lot of beautiful things.
Yeah, and you already have.
Thank
you. Hopefully that day will come.
Inshallah.
Reem Talhami, thank you so much for coming here and for being a guest on Kalam podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.